new year has started and I can already say that One Piece will dominate the manga scene for another year. There are so many things building up already in the manga and so many things that we can just accept to happen in the upcoming year. So for that, this is basically like my new One Piece New Year resolutions or my One Piece bingo, because I prepared a bingo board of 24 different things that I think that will maybe happen this year in the One Piece manga. So first of all, let me show you the bingo, and then we go through every piece, every board piece, one by one, so you can maybe play it together with me. Maybe use my words to form your own bingo board, or maybe build your own bingo board in general, so that at the end of the year we can see if maybe one of us actually made a right bingo. Maybe I hit more than one bingo. But first of all, let me show you my board. Here it is. These are my One Piece 2023 expectations, my resolutions. Let's go through it from upper left to bottom right, one by one. More awakenings is simple to understand. In the recent years, I mean recent arcs, let's say that, we've seen a lot of awakenings. The first were the Impel Down Guards, then we had Doflamingo, then we had Katakuri, then we had, I assume, Big Mom and Kaido. We also have Law, Kid, and Luffy, and maybe some other people as well. I don't know if these dinosaur Zoans with their goofy abilities were awakened. I mean, we also have Lucci in the latest chapters. The awakened symbols are basically like the Hagoromo, I think is the thing called, the fire circle flying around them, which would technically mean that Big Mom and the Zoan Devil Fruits, like the dinosaurs, are not awakened, which means King is not awakened, Queen is not awakened, kind of weird. But we also didn't see the fire circle around Doflamingo and Katakuri, and they were confirmed to be awakened. So I think it might just be that we didn't see these fire circles because that's a newer thing that Oda thought up, and these fire crowns, fire halos are only recent additions to the manga. But I think we will see more awakenings. Who is a good candidate to awaken? I personally think it might be a confirmation for Kuzan to awaken. Maybe it's Sabo. Sabo will awaken. Maybe we can see Blackbeard awaken, or some of the Blackbeard party members. There are a lot of potential awakenings, and I can't wait to find out what kind of things we will see in the upcoming year. Next, the first eye field is the Elbaf tease. We already kind of got the first Elbaf tease with Kid, because he arrived at the island in the recent chapter, but we didn't enter Elbaf. And with Elbaf tease, I mean, I want to see something inside of Elbaf, but we don't go there. So the Straw Hats this year, they won't go to Elbaf, but Kid will obviously go to Elbaf. So we will see only a few tiny snippets of Elbaf to get us even more excited, to tease us, to think us that there is going to be something, but we still need to wait for it more. That's all about that field. And then we have Blackbeard's third Devil Fruit. This is a big theory that has been going on for years and years, and I still want to believe that Blackbeard has a third Devil Fruit. I don't care if it is a Cerberus Devil Fruit, an Octopus Devil Fruit, or maybe some other free Hydra Devil Fruit. It could also be a Hydra Devil Fruit, maybe? I don't know. Wait, no, Yamato no Orochi was Orochi, so maybe not the Hydra, but Octopus and Cerberus still work around there, so there are potential Devil Fruit abilities that Blackbeard could have. Maybe he also just has two Devil Fruits, so this field here is a bit more on the vague side, because we don't know if Blackbeard even has a third Devil Fruit. It's just a big theory that the entire One Piece community has come together to agree, and it would be nice to actually get a reveal or some sort of confirmation if Blackbeard has a third Devil Fruit or if it's going to stay with two. Then our first G field is Rouge becoming relevant. A lot of the Supernova have become relevant in the recent arcs. I mean, we have Law, who was relevant for the entirety of the for Emperor Saga, and then we have, in later parts, we had in the Whole Cake Island, we had not Roche, we had in Whole Cake Island, we had Beige, then we had Kid later on, we had Hawkins, we had Apu. Now we have Bonnie and Egghead, so there are still a few people remaining. So Blackbeard obviously will get his limelight later, but there are few other supernovas that are remaining. And by the few others remaining, I mean only Urush, because he's the literal last supernova that didn't get any spotlight yet. I think Urush might become relevant in the next arc after Egghead or something. Then we get to the next field, which is problematic as Snake. As Snake is the Seraphim Boa, and she already has become quite a controversial character, because she uses the same Devil Fruit power as Hancock. And Hancock's Devil Fruit power, I don't know if it's ever been confirmed, but it's said that the people who lust after Boa get turned into stone. But that would mean that people lust after a literal child. So now it's somewhat drifted, like the idea of how the Devil Fruit works, that it's not lusting after somebody, but just feeling a big emotion towards the person. Like towards Boa Hancock, the Marines or other people feel that she's beautiful, that she's gorgeous, sexy, all these things. But towards S Snake, the people feel like, oh my god, she's so cute, precious, I want to protect her, and then they get turned to stone. So the Marine people that got turned to stone by S Snake are not horny towards a literal child. They just thought that she is cute, and that's how she turned them into stone. But I feel like if Sanji meets the Seraphim Hancock, we might have a bad case of the One Piece community and the people on the internet going after Sanji because he got turned to stone because of a child. And I don't like to see that, because I personally like Sanji, and I don't want the Boa thing to make him less of a good character. Now, the second border. We have Sebek flashback. I don't even think that's very likely, I just thought maybe it could happen. If there's a war against Blackbeard, which is a point later down the line, there could be a Sebek flashback, because Sebek is a really relevant character for Garp's backstory, and technically also for Blackbeard. After all, his ship is already called I think it's the Spear of Sebek, or the Sword of Sebek, I'm not really sure. So there could be potential for a flashback, but this is, I think, one of the least likely things to happen on this entire board. Followed by the other thing that I think is very not likely to happen. Imu's face reveal. Imu's face reveal might happen at the very last arc or very close to the ending of One Piece. Imu is a very mysterious character, and we don't know too much about them. So seeing their face and actually see them sit on the empty throne together with the 5 Elder Stars, like the Gorosei, all these things will be really big things, and I can't wait to see Imu's face, because I feel like it's somebody we might know or should know at least. Then we come to the thing that I really hope Oda will do this time. He already said that he doesn't know what will happen exactly. A lot of people will go meet each other, there will be a big battle royale is what he said. And so I hope that we will have more than 3 deaths in the One Piece manga this year. And with 3 deaths, I mean either deaths that happen in the story, like they need to happen in our story, not flashback deaths, but I mean deaths. And that's also where I count Big Mom or Kaido being confirmed dead, which is something in the last line of the bingo board. But if the deaths of characters that we have seen in the story, like Luffy and the others battle against Big Mom and Kaido. So if they get to be confirmed to be dead, that means that they died during the story. It's not, even if they died off screen, they died, and that's enough for me. Next field, G2, Vivi Mystery. With Vivi's Mystery, I mean, Vivi is currently, I think, we don't know what exactly is going on with her. I think she got imprisoned by Imu or something, but why did that happen? Is Imu maybe connected to the Nefertari family, or is it connected because the Nefertari family didn't join the Celestial Dragons and Marijoa? There are a lot of questions what is happening with Vivi, if she even is still alive. We don't know that exactly. So I want to learn a bit more about what is going on with Vivi. And maybe Pell and Shaka are trying to save Vivi together with their God Devil Fruits. Then my O2 is Usopp Power Up. Even if I personally don't like Usopp after the time skip, which is a whole different topic I can talk about, I still think he really needs a power up. That being maybe a Vegapunk Devil Fruit, or some sort of technological advancement, maybe something on Elbaf next year. But next year wouldn't count for this bingo board, so he needs something this year, because Usopp is weak as fuck. He can't win against anybody. I think Usopp is by far the weakest Straw Hat member, and there's no way he can win against Yasop when Augur or any other strong sniper that we have seen in the series. I still think he's far inferior to all these characters. Then B3 is Egghead arc finishes. Many people think the Egghead arc will finish this year, and I'm part of that group because it only feels like a shorter arc. So there is the option that it will continue a bit longer than this year, but we already entered what I would assume is the sort of climax of Egghead, because all the battles are being set up. We can still be there until like June, July, maybe August, but I feel like maybe even October. I'm not sure, but I feel like Egghead will finish this year. Then the classic that everybody says every year, Enel will return. Enel is very important for us because he was on the moon and has all the information about the sky people and the other things that are going on there. So I just want him to return. Maybe he's the person that Vegapunk is in contact with, because Vegapunk said that they have one more ally. But I don't think that Enel could be that ally, so let's see what will come out of that. The One Piece logo is just our free space, so if you join me, the free space means that the middle field is open for everything. Then we have Among Us. Among Us is easy to understand. Last chapter we thought, who the hell turned down the defensive mechanism? Who allowed CP0 to enter? So is there an imposter among us? Do we have another Kanjuro situation? Is one of the satellites from Vegapunk like a traitor? Or was it Vegapunk himself? Or was it actually a technical malfunction? Or is there somebody else who betrayed the group? There is a lot of potential for another traitor plotline, even though we just used one for the Wano arc. I will look at this more like with doubt, but it still can happen. And then we have Green Bull proving himself. Green Bull didn't get too much time to shine in the actual story. I mean, he got fought well. He kind of defeated King, Queen, and the other people. I don't even know if King and Queen are alive or if Green Bull actually killed them. There was not really a confirmation for that either. So it could be that Green Bull will come back or fight against somebody else, and we will finally see that Green Bull is not weak. I don't think Green Bull is weak. It's understandable that he wanted to evacuate or run away, if you want to call it that, after not only there were Kid, Law, Luffy, their entire crews, the samurai of the country. Technically, if Kaido is alive, Kaido could also still be around if he just comes out of the magma. And then Shanks from behind? No. Everybody would have run away there. Even Gold Roger would have run away if he would have been surrounded by all of these forces. Then we go to the fourth line. Who is Caribou? Big question. Nobody knows who Caribou is. Is Caribou the 10th Titanic captain for Blackbeard? Is Caribou a member of CP0? Is Caribou a member of Sword? Is Caribou special? There are a lot of things we don't know about him, and there is a lot more to him than it might first seem. So I really want to see more what is actually going on with him. Because there was a flashback in the past when there was actually a member of Baroque Works, so Crocodile's organization, where I think it was Mr. 10 or Mr. 11, that their concept art looked very similar to Caribou. So there have been some theories that Caribou is actually connected to Baroque Works, or now to the Cross Guild, because he was a member of Crocodile's gang, and he could potentially have contacts with them and inform them about Luffy's Devil Fruit, Luffy's powers, the things happening in Egghead Island. There are a lot of things that he can say. The Ancient Kingdom flashback, not very likely, but we might have it because we have Vegapunk with us, so there are some interests there. Then Scopogaban. I think it could potentially be Scopogaban that is the person that Vegapunk has as a helper, as a protector. Because we need somebody who is powerful enough to hold back CP0. And who is powerful enough if not the third strongest member of the Roger Pirates? This is a chance for Scopogaban to finally be relevant in the story. And we had seen that one of the Vegapunk satellites said something like, if this character, this protector, comes out of the shadows, they won't be able to stay in their safe space, or they need to get rid of their home and all these things. That would also all fit into Scopogaban, because right now he lives hidden. Nobody knows if he's is alive, dead, or what is happening with the Marines and all these things. So if he returns, that would mean he can't live safely anymore. Now, next field, higher up leaves the Marines. With that, I don't mean that just Akainu goes for a stroll or something. I literally mean that somebody like Fujitora says, I'm fed up with the entire shit that the Marines are pulling. I'm giving up on my admiral position and I hereby defect from the Marines. This is what I mean when higher up leaves the Marines. This is a very big thing that could potentially happen. It could be Garb, it could be Fujitora, it could be somebody else, maybe Smoker. So there are a lot of characters that could eventually defect from the Marines, and I look forward to that happening. Robin meeting Saul is kind of connected if we go to the Elbaf arc, but that would mean that the Elbaf T stuff doesn't happen. Maybe Saul isn't really on Elbaf, even though I think he is. So this is very depending on what happens in the other chapters. Then we have Admiral Fight. Admiral Fight is basically something that is very likely to happen unless we escape very fast from Egghead Island and the arc finishes way faster than even I think, because Kizaru is already heading to Egghead Island. And if he actually gets there and Kizaru doesn't just fight against CP0 because they betrayed the world government or something, because Lucci is somewhat acting like a stupid child, him saying, I don't think Straw Hat is a Yonko, so I can do what I want. Dude, you're literally getting thrown out of CP0 once again. You're not going to be a member of Cypherpaw in the future if you act like that. But if somehow Kizaru fights against Sanji, Zoro, or somebody else, that's what I mean with an Admiral fight. Straw Hats versus the Admiral. I want to see something like that. And next we have Luffy meeting Dragon. Because the Helper, a lot of things about these are connected to there being somebody helping Vegapunk. And we already seen Shaka talking with Dragon, so that it could be the case that Dragon might actually help the Vegapunks in escaping or doing something in the future. So maybe it's finally the time, the One Piece year has come, where Luffy actually meets his father. Luffy meeting Dragon is a big thing. We have expected them to meet each other since years. Since the first time we got confirmed that Dragon was in Lockdown and he's actually Luffy's father, I think that's actually the thing where all of us wanted to see what Luffy and Dragon would talk about if they meet each other. Even though I don't think that they actually would talk that much, because Luffy doesn't have anything he wants to ask his father, and Dragon, I think he cares about Luffy, but it's not like he would be like, so, son, how have you been? Yes. No, they would. I don't think that they would be awkward. I think that there would just not be much to talk about. Then the next field, which I already talked about, is Big Mom or Kaido confirmed dead. Big Mom or Kaido being confirmed dead is something that a lot of us want. I mean, Big Mom could potentially return to Elbaf because she is very relevant for the Elbaf story arc, but Kaido doesn't necessarily need to be alive. So I kind of hope that Kaido is dead. And maybe Moria will get his revenge because he can just pick up Kaido's corpse and make it into a zombie. Or the person who is currently using the Shadow Fruit can make it into a zombie. Then the second to last thing is the Blackbeard War. The Blackbeard War is also connected to the last picture of Garb dies, which a lot of us have been talking about these last few weeks. Blackbeard's War is the big battle royale that I think Oda is teasing. Because all of Blackbeard's stuff, even though we thought he's the main antagonist, Blackbeard is being set up right now. Garp went to the island with all these marines and picked up both Helmeppo and some other people to go after Blackbeard because he wants to save Kobe. But that's not the only person that is there for Blackbeard. Blackbeard has captured Kobe, which is why the marines want to go after him. But Blackbeard has also captured Pudding, which means that the remnants of the Big Mom pirates, Katakuri, Oven, Snack, Smoothie, all these people will also go after Blackbeard because they want to save Pudding. And Kobe and Pudding are also both connected to the Straw Hat Pirates. If Garp goes there as well, that's also another reason why the Straw Hat Pirates might go to Fullerland Island or Hachinosu Island and fight against Blackbeard. That is the big battle royale. We have the Blackbeard Pirates, we have the Marines with Garp's side, we have the Big Mom Pirates, we have the Straw Hat Pirates. If the Straw Hats currently have Vegapunk with them, we have the Vegapunk faction. Maybe the CP0 will follow the Straw Hats and they will also join the war. That's a big battle royale. And if Law is still there, because Law, Kobe, and Blackbeard are all the members of the Rocky Port incident, there is also Law for the Blackbeard War. And if the Rocky Port incident actually is going to be relevant, maybe Wang Ji, or whatever their name is in the story, will also come back and fight against Blackbeard, unless Wang Ji is a zombie right now. And this is also the whole thing with Garp dying. If Blackbeard's war is not the Battle Royale that we are waiting for, then Garp is alone against Blackbeard. Maybe Garp is stronger than Rayleigh. I think he for sure is stronger than Rayleigh. But Rayleigh said that there's not, like, he's not sure if he could defeat Blackbeard. So Garp can't be sure of defeating him either. Now that leaves us to say, will Garp actually win or will he die? And seeing his grandfather die might actually be the push that Luffy needs to finally go after Blackbeard, and leads us into the final war arc. This Battle Royale with Big Mom and everybody else here, like the Big Mom Pirates, could still happen without the Straw Hats. So the Battle Royale maybe doesn't even include the Straw Hats, but that's for us to find out in this year, because One Piece will for sure destroy the internet over this year. I can't wait for Gear 6. No, Gear 6 won't happen. But there will be so many interesting things, and maybe Usopp will die as well. So I look forward to this year. What do you think is the most likely to happen from my bingo boards? What do you expect to happen in this year of One Piece? Please tell me in the comments down below. And if you want to see what my bingo board looks like at the end of the year, why don't you click on that subscribe button? That's all from me for today. So all that's left to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. This has been Para Brahma. So now you guys take care of yourselves, and we will see each other again in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.